Grade 4, we're gonna start lesson 5, unit 10. This lesson talking about how we use electricity in our life. If we think a little bit, we find that we use electricity every day in many devices. At least you use it to lighting your house every day. For another examples, computers. If we need to switch on the computers, we give it electrical energy, and we took that it change it to light, sound, and heat energy. Another example is like fans. If we put the electrical outlet into the plug, it will change the electrical energy to energy of motion. If we remember that energy of motion called kinetic energy. Another new device is called the electrical motor. I think a lot of you know it. We use it in science fair when we need to make a project which can move. We use a small electrical motors. This device, if we give it electrical energy, it can change the electrical energy to energy of motion and move. Remember, as we know that energy of motion can called kinetic energy. After all these examples, we're gonna talk about a magnet. All of you know what is a magnet. Magnet is an object that attracts iron and a few other metals. Metals like nickel and steel. All of this, all these metals, if we put a magnet near of it, it will attract to the magnet. So now we're gonna start to take some properties for magnet. This area around the magnet, it's called magnetic field. This area, have a lot of magnetic force. If we put any metals that can attract to the magnet in this area, it will attract. If we get this object outside this area, it's not affected by the magnet. So magnetic field is a space around the magnet which has magnetic force. This magnetic force which attract object to the magnet. Okay, and now we will start to know the structure of magnet. Any magnet has two poles. At the end of the magnet, we have one part called North Pole and the other part called South Pole. The magnetic force at the two poles is the strongest force. If we put the iron nails or any magnetic materials beside the two poles, okay, so if we put iron nails beside the two poles, we will see that a lot of iron nails will attract it at the two poles. But at the middle, there is the weakest magnetic force it found at the middle. So when we put iron nails beside the middle, we will see a little or a few iron nails will attract it at the middle. Okay, so magnetic force at the two poles is the strongest force, while at the middle is the weakest force.